we're here to talk about level shifts and tie downs. What is that? How can you best describe what that means? So, if many of you, hopefully everyone knows that we have the ESS book, and there is a section in page 8 and 9 that talks a little bit of how to use level shifts and tie downs. But to me, I wanted to dig in a little deeper as to what that means for us as sales professionals when we're speaking with our prospects, whether it be a listing presentation or a buyer's presentation. And pretty much, I sum it down to one thing, and that's the art of the conversation. The level shifts and tie downs, those are two topics we're exploring, and are the most important ways to counter and control a conversation while still keeping your prospect engaged and acknowledged. You listen to them and you kind of try to address it, and you try to shift it in a different direction where you have control. Basically, it's how we handle objections. That's really as simple as that. It's safe to say that when attending a listing or sales presentation, you should expect a objection or two. But if you have it mastered, if you've mastered your listing presentation, then that really is minimized considerably. And that's why we're all, at Everest, and all of the training that we do, the stuff that DeBrus does for us on peak training and all the others, that presentation is key. It really, if you do it well, you master it to the T, it really does create the flow of positive energy that is only attracting to the client. We as sales professionals need to be ready, and we need to be confident, and we need to be able to handle those statements by utilizing the listening skills. Trust our process, and this is why we practice. Repeat and reaffirm, and also be quick to draw in any natural manner by using the level shifts to counter their concerns while identifying the root of their statement with a confident response. So examples of the level shifts, and I'm just going to read a little bit from the book here. And I'm just going to read the top. So on a level shift, a statement used to interpret and summarize what someone has said. For example, your prospect says, "We don't want to list with a real estate agent." And you reply, "What I really hear you saying is that you want to net as much money as possible on the sale of your home, correct?" See? So you've gotten their objection, but you've dissected it to where you could actually address it and really get to the core of why they think they don't want to list with an agent. Okay, that's an example of a level shift. And then the tie downs. So here's one: questions asked of your audience or your prospect to get their commitment or acknowledgement of the fact. For example, do you see value in me using a virtual tour to maximize exposure of your home to the marketplace? Some examples are isn't that what you want, or wouldn't you agree? You're reestablishing that statement so that they say yes. And if you really look at the whole listing presentation and the questions that you're asking, the more they say yes is almost, I don't want to say it's hypnotizing because we don't hypnotize our clients, but in a way that yes that they say often will only get them more comfortable at the end whenever you get to the point where let's get started and let's pop out the contract and let's get started. It's a great way to get them comfortable, to get them to feel positive, and to feel that energy like this is the right move to make for them, and to in order to reach their goals. Okay, so I wanted to share some examples, not just from the book, but from real life interactions with our clients on how we could use the level shifts and the tie downs. I'd like to start by exploring the most common examples of objections. So we receive usually from prospects. And here's one of them. So for example, we don't want to list with a real estate agent, right? And here's what I really hear you saying is that you want to net as much money as possible on the sale of your home, correct? Another one, we don't want looky-loos walking through our home. This is whenever we're talking about open houses and so forth. So the level shift is, in other words, you want me to make sure that all potential buyers provide us with a current pre-approved letter prior to accessing your property, correct? See right there? You did that level shift. You heard their concern, but you dissected it further, and you're able to address it in a positive manner. Okay? Here's another one. We were thinking about Remax, and we really never heard of your company, even though that doesn't make sense with Century 21 Everest, but I'm just using this as an example. I can understand you're concerned, and I think you realize a company doesn't sell a home. It's the individual agent's activities. Wouldn't you agree? Wouldn't you agree is the tie down. And then following, do you feel I can sell your home? Terrific. All we need now is to simply sign the contract. That's a typical closing that we have. But again, you got their concern, you addressed it, and you did that tie down, and you challenged them and to the point where they're comfortable in saying yes. Let's list high. We can always come down later. So I understand you want to list high to leave room for negotiation, right? But have you considered the problem that that creates for you? Most people won't even bother looking at properties that are priced too high. Obviously, that's the tie down. Obviously, you'd rather have a bidding war on your home or not have an opportunity to negotiate any offers at all, right? You're kind of giving them that reality check right there. Isn't this what you really want? You can't really say no to that, right? Again, they're going to say yes. So all we need to do now is simply sign the contract. Then you go along your merry way on a new listing. We want to sleep on it. That one happens to a majority of us when we go on listing presentations. We'll sleep on it. You're right. It is a big decision for them to make, isn't it? With that being said, here is a transitional statement. With that being said, the decision must be made based upon what you want, correct? So let's do this. Let's sign the contract tonight, contingent upon approval within 24 hours. That way, we both win. Can I tell you how? You have 24 hours with no pressure, so you can feel comfortable and sleep on it tonight. Then tomorrow, I'll call you in the morning, and you simply tell me yes or no. If you say no, I'll rip up the contract, and you have no obligation. If you say yes, I'll begin marketing your property immediately. Either way, all we need to do now is simply sign the contract. Those magic words. Here's another one. You haven't sold any homes in my area. That's a valid concern, and obviously reasons you'll choose me now is that my company has homes for sale all over the community. Meaning, when you sign the contract tonight, we can expose your property to potential buyers from all over the area. Do you realize how important that kind of exposure is? Here's the tie down. Isn't that what you want? Of course it is. Isn't that what you want? What do you do to sell homes? It's a valid concern. And let me ask you, are you aware that there are two kinds of real estate agents? There are passive, and then there are active. I'm an active agent, meaning when you sign the contract tonight, I will spend my time actively marketing your home and to the other active agents in town. Isn't that what you want? There's the tie down. Isn't that what you want? You want someone who will work with you actively, aggressively, and get your home sold, right? And they say yes. And you say, terrific. Again, they're getting comfortable. They're saying yes. This is probably the 6th or 7th yes you've had since you sat down at the coffee table. You want to cut your commission. This one's a popular one. No. And I don't have anything else to say about that. Just no. But here's the follow-up. The other agents said that they would do it. And then our reply would be, I can appreciate that. Can I tell you why that makes me nervous? If other agents do not have the courage to stand up to you regarding their own worth, how strong could they possibly be defending yours and the price we set for your home? I have that courage. Do you feel I can sell your home? They're going to say yes. And here's the tie down. That's what you want, right? They're going to say yes. So again, these patterns, you're re-emphasizing your statements. You're getting their concerns, you're opening them up a little bit, and then you're addressing them. And at the end, they're going to feel comfortable with the way you've handled the concern. It's a moment that you're providing that leadership, and it gives them the confidence that you are the person for this job. I kind of look at the tie downs and the level shifts almost like say all of us pretty much use GPS in our cars, right? And if you really are techie, you use probably an app called Waze. And Waze is a GPS app that's on your Android or iPhone. And what it does is not only tells you where to go, but it directs you based on current live events, whether it be traffic, accidents, even the quickest way, or if you want to avoid toll roads or stuff like that. But every now and then when I say I want to go to Dodger Stadium, there's 4 different ways to get to Dodger Stadium. And when I use the Waze app, as I'm going through my road, I hear suggestions coming up. And it gives me, hey, maybe you should go this route. Maybe you should go that route. So I could be very stubborn and say, you know what, I'm not going to listen to that, and end up missing the first 2 innings of the game because I was stubborn. Or I could listen to the recommendations that this device had as far as to get to Dodger Stadium at a decent targeted time, even though I might drive a little bit more to get there, but I would get there and not miss the first 2 innings of the game. That's like the best analogy I could give you guys, and hopefully you get it. But I hope that this invites you guys to really start looking into mastering the conversation with your clients. The ESS book, if you don't have it, please download it, print it out, put it in a book, and start using this, guys, because it really does open up opportunities. And again, we are perfectionists. That's what we do, and we practice. Find a role play partner. We have Rick and Ruby that do amazing role plays in the mornings. There, coming out of Utah. If not, find role play partners in your office or even your neighbor sister branches. Find an agent that maybe you don't know, and say, hey, would you be interested in doing some role play, and practice this stuff, because our goal is to make mistakes with each other, so that way we don't make them out in the public and we don't lose the opportunity to have a sale, but more importantly, just to serve our clients and serve the people that we're here to help. All right, so that is it. That is my closing, and I hope you guys appreciate that. I thank you guys for joining me today. It's about 7:26, and I know our time is valuable. It's the most valuable commodity we have, but I hope you guys took a little bit of knowledge off of that, and it motivates you guys to really tackle the tie downs and the level shifts. Okay. All right. That is it.